Hey guys, this is Gage and I'm here with Matt for ShirtCycle. Today we're going to talk about building a startup team. So just to say it off the bat, your startup team is more important than your idea. And in startups, ideas are more or less a commodity. It really matters what your team is because that's going to allow you to execute on your vision. And so when I say this to people, sometimes they get offended, and I used to be the same way actually. But over time, I've learned that the team is really the most important thing. And when it comes to building a team, I recommend focusing on building a complementary team with as little overlap as possible.
So what do you exactly mean by complementary?
So I think it was a basketball team. I'm from Indiana. I love IU basketball. And if you have 2 point guards on a team, then what you're doing is really having to split minutes between both of them. So if you have team members that do the same thing, then you're going to have to dilute both of them in the same way. And what you're doing is really kind of driving less motivation without increasing the overall value of the team. And so in other videos I talk about not diluting yourself before you even get started, and that's critical. It's because you want to have a complementary team where everyone brings something different to the table.
Do you have an example of this?
Yeah, so actually my first idea was a filming business for video and real estate in New York, and we were going to go film apartments. Short answer is that I started this with 2 finance buddies. We all wanted to be CEO, and we all kind of brought nothing different to the table. So I actually diluted myself down to 1/3 before I even started. And as a result, our 4th and 5th members were actually a tech co-founder and the real estate agent. And those were the guys that brought something different to the table, but we had less equity for them because we had 3 CEOs. So again, you want to make sure that you're keeping equity so that you have an amount later on for the team members you have to add. And in this case, I had the wrong team, and I decided actually just to blow it up and start over. And I recommend that if you do have a team of buddies, and you just don't think that you have the team to really execute the vision, you can blow it up.
Blow it up? How can you blow that up?
All right, so what you want to do is take a calculated risk. If you stop, will everyone else? And if so, then what you can do is release everyone from their obligations and rights to the business so that any team member, you or someone else, can restart using the same IP without a claim against them.
Gotcha. And would you say equity is the most important thing when building a team?
It is. It's your currency in a startup. And so, you have a fiduciary obligation to your company and your current team members, but also future team members. So it's kind of like a salary cap in the NBA. Not only do you need to make sure that your current team members are being incentivized, but if you need to grow your business, you got to make sure that you have equity for those future team members. So you got to keep that in mind. And when you think about equity and who should get what, and that's obviously a conversation that always comes up. And there's public numbers as far as, a tech guy should get this amount or that amount. It really comes down to supply and demand. How replaceable is each person? If you lose one person, is the music going to stop? Is the business going to stop? What's the business interruption that you would feel? And how hard is it to replace that person? So again, for us, a tech guy or girl, they are in high demand. And there's very few of them, obviously. So a tech person usually gets more equity than, for this case, a real estate agent, which, in New York are almost a dime a dozen. So, you're able to find someone else in that regard. So again, supply and demand, it sounds pretty cold and calculated, but it's very important to take it seriously because having the right pieces early on is critical for success.
So you mentioned pieces. What are the most important pieces?
Great question. So assuming that you're the CEO, and really you also have ops, marketing, and tech. And the order depends on kind of what business you have. So if you have a digital business, then obviously tech is very important, and then probably marketing, because you got to make sure you have website traffic and conversion. If you have a physical business, like for example, you're sending custom shirts, then ops, and this guy here is very critical because you need to make sure that people are getting their shirts, they're getting the right shirts, they're getting it on time, things like that. So in that case, maybe the digital side is a little less important. So again, the key to think about is, 1, you want to build a complementary team, okay? That's going to allow you to make sure that you're not wasting equity and that you have equity to retain the people you have, and then obviously build your team. And then also you want to make sure the puzzle pieces or the team that you build matches the needs of the business. So we talked about the physical, box business versus like a digital business. Again, just keep in mind that hiring the right people first is critical because having the right team is going to set you up for execution success and ultimately help you grow your business. So it's a lot to hear. What I'm really trying to say is be very thoughtful. It's hard. I know you want to start a business with your buddies, but if you guys don't bring anything different to the table, you need to think about what the business needs, not just what you want, and grow from there.
Great. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for listening, guys.